Your offense is not good right now. It's not dynamic enough. You have a problem with your OC. I don't think he's good enough to bring you to the places that you ultimately want to go. But that doesn't matter this week, because if there is a get-right game and a get-right defense that you can do it against, it's the USC Trojans. Now, just for anybody that's just joining us, or if you're watching the video clip on YouTube, as much as I don't trust Notre Dame's offense, I royally do not trust South California's defense. 109th in total defense. Joe, they are dead last in the country in explosive plays 20 yards or more. Not even Colorado has more explosive, defensively giving up more explosive plays. 70th in rush defense, 113th in passing yards allowed, and 74th on third down conversions. Styles make fights. And you know what Notre Dame is what they always do? We're going to line up and run the football. And we're going to pound it with Estime. We're going to get Love involved. We're going to pound the rock. And it is going to break USC. They have a young middle linebacker in Tackett Curtis who is not ready for this smoke and this action. He is going to be a good player. I think he'll be a good player. He's not ready for this weekend. But you know what, the only thing more than the offense that worries me for the Fighting Irish? How beat up are you? How can your pride show me something? Because you know what, Joe? I look at this team and say, man, some of these running plays against Louisville, some of these running plays that you had against Duke, some of these running plays that you had against Ohio State, it's man on man. Mano e mano, zone blocking schemes, get to the second level. And Joe, they gotten beat. Flat out, the right guard, I don't know his name, but I'm watching the film today, and I'm like, they got an issue at right guard. They have a massive issue at right guard. There's no denying that. They're going to keep the ball away from Caleb Williams, and they're going to give up some points. But as an overall team, Notre Dame is better.
Okay, so I have two ways that I'm looking at this game. I have my fan view as a Notre Dame fan, why I'm optimistic. And then I have the realistic outlook on how I think this game is actually going to play out. The Notre Dame fan take is very heavily in line with you just talked about there. USC is a bottom feeder in college football defensively. They're not stopping anyone. And if you pull up the tape, they're not tackling. They're not rallying to the football. It's the same thing over and over again that we've said on a weekly basis. And that favors Notre Dame this weekend on the road in Indiana with presumably potentially bad weather. There's a possibility for it to rain. That all favors Notre Dame, that they're going to run the ball, keep the ball out of the hands of Caleb Williams, and try to control time of possession. I also think statistically, one thing that really stands out to me is that Notre Dame is actually, this is a big misconception with Notre Dame, they're actually 18th in yards per reception. They are one of the most explosive offenses when it comes to picking up long passing plays. The problem is they're just not connecting on a consistent clip. That's what's leading to the interceptions. Guys aren't getting open enough. A lot of issues have happened in the passing game, but when they do connect, it does lead to long splash plays. I think that does set up in favor for Notre Dame to create some of those long plays that they haven't been able to get going up against a very porous secondary. But my realistic take is Notre Dame statistically and also on film is one of the weakest front sevens. They're 108th in team sacks, 118th in team tackles for loss. They're just not generating pressure.
Rush defense,
which is great. But
team tackles is.
Wait. Well, okay, it's not. Yes. My point is with that, though, going up against a historically dominant player in terms of improvising in Caleb Williams, I just don't think that they've got the speed off the edge or at outside linebacker to rally to the football to take him down. You could cover perfectly all day against these receivers. Caleb Williams is going to find a way to beat you. And it happened last year. They covered really well. He danced. Somebody eventually got open. He connected. They moved the ball. And that was what killed them. I'm very fearful of that. Realistically, I don't think that sets Notre Dame up for success because athlete on athlete at those specific position groups is going to kill them. That's where I'm at with both these.
I agree with you on the explosive play theory for Notre Dame offensively. Mm-hmm. You're not I will continue to say this. You're not good enough on the outside. You're not. Not for where you want to be. Okay? Yes. You're just not. I think you're an average team on the outside. Look, I love a good tight end. I do. Mitchell Evans, I'm just going to be real. Don't kill me on this. He's having a better season than Brock Bowers is. The catches and the stuff that he's doing is ridiculous. And he's been doing it for a couple of games now against tougher competition. 4 or 3 top 25 defenses in a row. Mitchell Evans went for over 100 last week. I promise you.
I don't totally agree with that.
Hold on. Brock Bowers was invincible the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks of the season. It's been the last 2 weeks.
I'll concede that.
Okay. Holistically, Mitchell Evans has been having a better overall year. I don't need you to hit explosive plays through the air. I need you to be competent. And you're going to be able to get yards through the air, Joe. There's not a discussion. There's yards to be had for you in the air. But it's really going to be a massive theme for me on this show tonight. Run the football. If you got to run that hoe 50 times, run it. Because what it does, Joe, it keeps Caleb Williams off the field with the new clock rules that the clock's going to just tick, 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 tick. And you can run the ball on them. They are horrible at defending the run. Joe, they're 90th in the country. And by the way, they just had to go into triple overtime against Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, Arizona might be better defensively than we're giving them credit for because they also took Washington to the wire. They also wait.
Okay.
You got to give Arizona some credit when you're taking Washington down to the wire, you're taking USC into overtime, and then you go on the road in the SEC and also go into overtime there. Okay? You have to. But you know whose defense and team overall is better than Arizona? Wait for it. You ready? Notre Dame. They have looked porous. And you know what else, Joe? I'm watching Colorado USC today, and I'm like, I'm going to give USC every benefit of the doubt here. What is the biggest complaint that you said about DeLeone in Colorado this year? They don't run the football.
They can't run the ball.
They can't run the ball. Joe, they were running all over their ass. You mean to tell me that if Colorado can run up and down the field in L.A., up and down the field, look like a damn circus, that Notre Dame at home at night can't win? There is a reason where they're the 3-point favorite. And let me tell you the reason. Because they know that this team is going to go in there and bully the hell out of USC. USC is flawed. They are a Caleb Williams injury away from being blown out. And you know what else, Joe? Every single team worth a damn, even average teams. Tulane a year ago, Arizona, Colorado. Joe, they beat their ass up front. So you're going to have to convince me as a logical human being that Notre Dame at home at night, right? That game's at night, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Give me the Irish, dude, because I think Audric might go for 200. I'm serious. I am not fanboying on that. If he doesn't go for 150, I'd be shocked. I'd really, really be shocked.
First of all, I do want to bring this, but I'm being annoying resurfacing this. You give Washington all this shit for the way that they played against Arizona. I really think that Arizona is a lot better of a team than people have given them credit for the way that they played with a true freshman quarterback in multiple games to play teams as close as they did. I think that Arizona is a pretty good team. They're not better than Notre Dame. I'm not trying to bring that up for that reason. I'm just reiterating a point from the last show that I did not bring up that I wish I did.
But you know what? You know what those other teams did that Washington didn't?
What?
Score more than 31 points.
Okay. We're done talking about Washington. We're done talking about Washington. I still think that
you brought it up. That's like
wait. What?
You're in a relationship, right?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you what happens when you get married. Okay, can I tell you?
What?
You do something stupid. Then trust me, you're gonna do something stupid. And then 2 weeks later, your wife brings it up to you. Okay, and she's got all the material to lay it to smack it down on your candy ass. Okay, you just try to poke the bear, and the bear bit back.
I'm bringing it back up because you and also everyone in the freaking comments are like, oh, everybody brings up the Texas Tech game. Arizona's a better team than Texas Tech. So I didn't like, that comparison being brought up. I'm moving past that though. I'm very concerned still with Caleb Williams and his capabilities in this game. I'm very afraid of what he can do. And it's been brought up. Somebody said it earlier. If this comes down to a shootout, if USC goes up 2 scores, if they go up 2 scores, Notre Dame's out of the football game. They cannot score quickly enough to climb back into it. They have to go score for score with them.
And they have to grind. You don't have to.
Wait. I'm not saying that they need to go shootout mode with them, but every time they score, they need to have some type of a response. They need to grind the clock out, move the ball on a long drive, get in a position, put points on the board. No more of these field goals, no more being soft. Be aggressive. But again, to reiterate the issue with the weather, I think that is really important to talk about that might not get brought up. When was the last time USC played in the rain? It is going to be 50 degrees, and there is a 70% chance of rain right now with 90% humidity.
Which bodes very bad for Caleb Williams, who does not play in those conditions.
I don't know the last time that they've ever played in rain. And people love to do growing up, I'm sure he's played in the rain. If you're not used to doing it on a week-to-week basis, it's not the same thing. I've played in torrential downpours before. This is not a torrential downpour, but trying to play with a wet ball when you haven't had any prep for it the week leading up is daunting as shit. It is very frustrating when you're playing center, when you're playing quarterback, when you're a kicker, punter, snapper, when you're a receiver. All of those things at positions where you're touching the ball every so often, pretty frequently, that ball is going to pop out. And they're going around, dicking around at practice, spraying the punt returns with a water spray. That's not going to do anything. That doesn't prepare you. Turn the sprinklers on if you really want to cause some problems for people. Did you see that video that I'm talking about?
I did see that video.
That's so stupid. It's like everyone lost their mind over when Dion was playing the crowd noise at practice, and everyone's like, wow, look at this extra level of preparation. That's not going to do anything. That's not how you get prepared for the weather.
So listen, I'm going to bring this up because this is a game that I did look at, and I think Eric could be right here. He said, I think that this could be 2017 Notre Dame versus USC. I don't think it's like that. I don't think it's that lopsided because of Caleb Williams. I don't know if you're going to keep them below 30. I really don't. But I don't think they're going to keep you below 30 either. I really don't. And the identity, Joe, of this Notre Dame team is running the football. I know that you got Sam Hartman. You got to get Sam Hartman to the break. You got to get Sam Hartman to the bye week because they're not good enough right now. They're not. So I don't need you to try to hit these explosive plays. I need you to get me 8 to 12 yards on every reception. Don't try to hit the 20-yard bombs. If they show you a coverage to do it, okay, fine, whatever. Run the clock, tick, 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 tick. Run the ball with Estime and Love, and you're going to be fine. I promise you. Joe, they're not – USC's defense is not good enough. They're not. And this Notre Dame team is better than a year ago. It doesn't feel like right now.
Yes.
How crazy would it be if Drew Pine went 9-3 and Sam Hartman comes in worse? Yeah.
Well,
didn't Drew Pine throw for like 250 and like 3 scores last year?
In this game, yeah, but he also he made a couple backbreaking mistakes. I still don't think Drew Pine was very good. I know this might get painted by USC fans as us saying that this is like a lock for Notre Dame to win. I don't think that's the case, but again, I'm starting to see more and more why my fan side, why I'm very optimistic, and why I think that ND can win this game. It's also out there on film how a similar style team can beat USC. And I'm talking about the first time Utah played USC, not when Caleb Williams got hurt.
And
the
they
first
ran the
time
ball
when
right at them.
It was very high scoring. There was a very good tight end named Dalton Kincaid who had 200 receiving yards in that game, and they fed him. They ran the ball. If they know how to, I would just go back, pull up that tape, and just rewatch the shit out of that. And I would pull as many different things from that game tape, and I would just use it because they can't cover tight ends over the past couple of years, and they can't stop the run. You got to rely on both those things.
You know the coordinator that I'm talking about when I say this. I was told that an SEC coach one time, okay, offensive coordinator, watched a game against Alabama, okay, and ran the same plays in order that a team that they lost to, okay, and almost beat them. So to your point, I've heard stories like, now they're calling the plays that are remotely close to theirs. You know, they're calling, it's not the same plays, but you get what I'm saying. I do think look, I'm taking Notre Dame. I think that Notre Dame is a favorite for a reason. I don't think Vegas loses money. Okay. Their goal is not to lose money. So when that line came out, -2.5, I had to take a long, hard pause, look at it, and say, well, what did they see that I don't? And I think the truth is that USC couldn't stop the run or could not stop a bloody nose with a tampon. They can't, Joe. They're worse in some areas. They are worse defensively this year than they were all of last year.
I hope you're right. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
I hope you're right.